What if I told you that you could make $500 without lifting a finger? No side hustles, no late nights, no selling stuff online, just your money working for you. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, a few months ago, I made $500 from dividends alone. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, what I learned, and how you can do it too. But here's the twist. This isn't your typical invest in dividend stocks video. I'm going to share some lessons I learned that no one talks about. Lessons that completely changed the way I think about money. So if you're ready to learn how to make your money work for you, stick around. First, let's rewind a bit. 3 years ago, I was just like most of you, working hard, saving money, and trying to figure out how to make my money work for me. I'd heard about dividends, but I always thought $500 from dividends? That's for people with millions in the bank, not someone like me. But then I decided to experiment. I started small with just $400, and over time, I built a portfolio that eventually paid me $500 in dividends. And here's the kicker. I didn't need to be a Wall Street expert to do it. So let's get right into it. Lesson 1, dividends are boring, and that's a good thing. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was scrolling through social media and I came across this guy who had made $50,000 in a single day trading stocks. I was hooked. I thought, that's it. That's how I'm going to get rich. So I jumped in, bought a bunch of trendy stocks, and waited for my big payday. But you know what happened? I lost money, a lot of it. And I realized something. Chasing the next big thing wasn't just exhausting, it was risky. That's when I discovered the power of BORING. Here's the thing, dividends aren't sexy. You're not going to wake up one day and see your portfolio double overnight. There's no adrenaline rush, no viral moment, no get-rich-quick story to brag about. But that's exactly why they work. Dividends are predictable, steady, and reliable. And in a world where everyone's chasing the next big thing, sometimes boring is exactly what you need. Here's the best part. When you invest in dividends, you're not riding the emotional roller coaster of the stock market. You're not constantly checking your phone, stressing over every dip and spike. Instead, you're like a river, steady, calm, and always moving forward. And in the long run, that's how you build real wealth. So the next time someone tells you dividends are boring, just smile and say, that's the point. Because sometimes boring is exactly what you need to win the game. Lesson 2, it's not about the yield, it's about the growth. Alright, let me take you back to when I first started investing in dividends. I was like a kid in a candy store, eyes wide, looking for the biggest, juiciest yields I could find. I thought the higher the yield, the better, right? So I loaded up on these high yield stocks, imagining the cash rolling in. But here's what happened. Some of those stocks crashed and their payouts disappeared overnight. It was like buying a shiny, expensive car, only to find out the engine was about to fall out. That's when I learned a hard lesson. High yields can be tempting, but they're not always what they seem. Some of those companies were paying out more than they could afford, and it wasn't sustainable. It's like someone offering you a huge slice of cake, but then you find out it's made of cardboard. Looks great, but it's not going to satisfy you in the long run. So, what's the alternative? It's not about the yield, it's about the growth. Companies that consistently grow their dividends over time are the real winners. These are the companies that start with a small dividend, but year after year, they increase it. And that's where the magic happens. See this? This company started with a small dividend, but over time, they increased it every year. That's the power of compounding. And here's the best part. Companies that grow their dividends are often financially healthy, with strong business models and a commitment to rewarding their shareholders. They're the ones you want in your portfolio. So the next time you're tempted by a high-yield stock, remember, it's not about how much you get today. It's about how much you can grow over time. Because in the world of dividends, slow and steady doesn't just win the race, it builds wealth. Lesson 3, dividends are a mindset, not just an investment. Let me tell you about the moment everything changed for me. It was a regular Tuesday morning and I was sipping my coffee, scrolling through my emails when I saw it, a notification that I'd just earned $500 in dividends. Now, $500 might not sound like a lot, but here's the thing. I didn't lift a finger to earn it. My money was working for me, even while I was drinking coffee in my pajamas. And that's when it hit me. Dividends aren't just an investment strategy. They're a mindset. Earning $500 from dividends didn't just put money in my pocket. It changed the way I think about money. Instead of constantly chasing more, I started focusing on building something sustainable. It's like switching from a sprint to a marathon. And honestly, it's been a game changer for my financial peace of mind. Here's the truth. We live in a world that's obsessed with quick wins. We're constantly bombarded with messages like get rich quick or make money fast. But here's the problem. Quick wins don't last. They're like a sugar rush, exciting for a moment, but then you crash. Dividends, on the other hand, are like a steady, nourishing meal. They might not give you that instant high, but they'll keep you going for the long haul. And here's the best part. Once you adopt this mindset, it changes everything. You stop worrying about short-term market fluctuations and start focusing on long-term growth. You stop chasing the next big thing and start building something that lasts. It's like planting a garden. You put in the work up front, and then you get to enjoy the harvest for years to come. So if you're tired of the hustle, tired of the stress, tired of feeling like you're always chasing something, maybe it's time to try a different approach, because dividends aren't just about making money. They're about creating freedom. And that, my friends, is a game changer. Now, let's talk about how you can start building your own dividend portfolio. Here's the step-by-step process I followed. 1. Start small, but start now. You don't need thousands of dollars to get started. Even $100 can buy you a few shares of a solid dividend-paying stock. The key is to start early and be consistent. The sooner you start, the more time your money has to grow. So even if you can only invest a small amount right now, don't wait. Start today. 2. Reinvest your dividends. Here's where the magic happens. Reinvest your dividends. In the beginning, I reinvested every single dollar I earned. This is called compounding, and it's like a snowball effect. At first, it starts small, but over time, it grows bigger and faster. Your dividends buy more shares, which earn more dividends, which buy even more shares. It's a cycle that builds wealth without you lifting a finger. 3. Diversify your portfolio. Now, here's a mistake I made early on. I put all my money into one stock. Big mistake. If that stock had crashed, I would have lost everything. That's why diversification is so important. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across different sectors, like technology, healthcare, and consumer goods. That way, if one sector struggles, the others can balance it out. Think of it like a balanced diet. You wouldn't eat just one type of food, right? The same goes for your portfolio. A little bit of everything keeps you healthy and strong. 4. Be patient. Finally, and this is the hardest part, be patient. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long-term strategy. When I first started, I wanted to see results immediately. But here's the thing. Real wealth takes time to build. It's like growing a tree. You don't get fruit overnight, but if you're patient, you'll have a steady supply for years to come. And trust me, the wait is worth it, because one day you'll wake up and realize your money is working harder than you are. And that's when you'll know you've built something truly powerful. Here's the biggest takeaway. I want you to remember, dividends aren't just about money. They're about freedom. The freedom to know that your money is working for you, even when you're not. The freedom to focus on the things that really matter in life. And the freedom to build a future that's not dependent on a paycheck. Earlier, I mentioned how dividends changed the way I think about money, shifting me from chasing quick wins to building something sustainable. But dividends are just one piece of the puzzle. If you really want to master investing, you need to think bigger. For example, in my video, Investing Was Hard Until I Discovered These 5 Secrets, I talked about how automating your investments can take the stress out of the process. Because, let's be honest, even with dividends, if you're constantly stressing over every decision, you're missing the point. And if you're someone who wants to keep it simple, like I did when I first started, you'll love my video on how to learn investing in a lazy way. Because the truth is, you don't need to spend hours researching stocks or analyzing charts. Sometimes the best strategy is the one that works while you're busy living your life. So if you're ready to take your investing game to the next level, check out those videos next. And remember, whether it's dividends, automation, or just keeping it simple, the goal is the same: to build a system that works for you, even when you're not working.